Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your man White Wolf, and welcome back to another exciting training session. Today, we're doing mental development, and we're going to be discussing the 7 Hermetic principles from the Kybalion. The first principle of mentalism. So, we already know from scientific evidence that this plane of reality that we're currently living in is nothing more than a holographic projection. This holographic projection being that of pure mental substance, of different densities, of different natures, of different forms. Anything that has ever been created or will ever be created has to first start out as a thought. This principle of mentalism helps us to understand two really key principles. One, the manifestation process, and two, the reality that we are all one. Let us talk about the Holy Trinity for a second. In Christianity, I believe you have the Father, the Holy Spirit, the Son. In science of mind, how they break it down, we have consciousness, subjective, and form. Consciousness being that of God. Everything is God. Every single thing. This plane of reality is God. We are God. Every aspect of this is God. And God is not only on this plane of reality, there is so much more layers than this one expression, than this one plane. When we talk about the subjective, those are the rules and the regulations that get this plane of reality to work the way it does. I know we've all heard the concept that time is an illusion. Well, time is an illusion. Time is not real. The way that this plane plays out in the cycles is what gives us our concept of time. But as we start to develop ourselves more and we start to learn how to tap more into the frequencies, we're going to see how we're able to shift and jump into many different timelines. The form. The form is everything that we see, is the matter, the physicalness that we are experiencing. When we talk about the Holy Trinity, consciousness being that of God, God being literally everything, consciousness being that of God, that is so massive, so large, that we can't really have a real understanding of what God is because of this, the vastness and how our human minds currently function. But consciousness being everything, us being consciousness, we're able to start tapping into our consciousness through practices like meditation, open up our energetic networks, raising our vibration. That's why we have sayings like, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the emotions, I am so much more that lies inside. And as we do our meditations, diving deeper, starting harmonizing our energy, we start tapping into our consciousness. We start tapping into the reality. We start breaking through the veil of separateness. And we start to experience and know what it really means to have this consciousness, to be a part of this consciousness, to tap into this consciousness stream of everything. Finishing off the principle of mentalism. Consciousness being that of God. God being outside of this plane of reality and being this plane of reality. The subjective. The rules and regulations that get this plane of reality to work the way that it does. So it creates the form. And as we start to tap into the subjective with our own consciousness, following the rules of manifestation, we bring to life the form in our own worlds, in our own reality. For us to manifest, we have to follow a number of things. One, the natural laws that govern this plane of reality, the subjectiveness. But two, we ourselves, in a sense, have natural laws. It's more like our energy development, tapping into the mental stream of consciousness, going through the proper channels in order to bring form to life. That, in my opinion, is a huge part of the chakra system. In my opinion, the chakra system is the process of manifestation for us on the human form. But we have to still follow the subjective nature of the universe, which also explains a lot of these other laws and principles that we're about to get into. So, let's move on. The second Hermetic principle, the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so is out. The Kybalion. The saying, as above, so below, plays out in so many different layers. Let us start by first talking about the stars and the galaxies, the planets. They're all in a particular type of harmonious type of configuration. Let's look at our own solar system. Our sun is producing all the energy for life to live on this planet. This planet rotating around the sun, spinning on its axis in a very particular type of harmonious conjunction with the other planets in alignment. All of this working together to create this solar system. As we break it down, take this planet. Everything on this planet is working together. The soil works with the trees, gives it life. The water feeds the trees. The trees give us air. Bugs work with different animals, the plants, and with us. Everything is working off of each other, building off of each other in a particular type of harmonious configuration. A configuration that we've been starting to kind of F up, in which we see the planet's pissed and a lot of natural type of responses are happening. That besides the point. Let us go even smaller on the microscopic level. All the type of organisms building together to create the tree. The tree being that of just smaller atoms and molecules. All of them working off of each other in a particular type of harmonious engagement in order to create the form of the tree. This principle helps us understand, one, on this plane of reality, how it doesn't matter from the smallest to the largest. Everything is in a harmonious type of configuration with each other to build the next form, the next block. Now, there's more than this plane of reality, as we already talked about in the first principle. We'll call it the spirit realm for right now, even though there's many different aspects. We'll keep it simple. This realm is a reflection of things going on in the spiritual realm, just as the things in the spiritual realm are a reflection of what's going on this realm. Right now, we are in the middle of a very large spiritual war. The saying, as within, so is out. For anything to change in this external expression, anything outside of us, first we have to go inwards and we have to configure our mind, our emotions, our body, our energy. Right now, we see, just like in the external world of our disharmony, inside of a lot of us is disharmony. We have so many different blockages from the way that we're treating our bodies, from the way that we've developed our minds, from the way that we've not healed our emotions. And it's starting to go inwards first and to align every aspect of ourselves. So that way we can start channeling more energy. Because let me tell you, the darkness is disharmony, the light is harmony. What creates disharmony is all these illusions, all the chains. And what creates the harmony is the love. Now, you can break this down however you want to break it down. But the darkness will always lose every single time. Because on this plane of reality, you can only get to so much darkness. The greatest force in this universe and what is outside of this universe is love. Pure love. Unconditional love. And as we start to harmonize ourselves, we start to tap in to the energy of love, the frequency of love, making outwards expressions of love. Because God is love. And God's love is so unmatched or untouchable that the darkness cannot possibly win. But we have to learn how to tap into that love. We have to develop ourselves to be able to have that harmonious configuration, to allow the love to come through us into our outer expression. Okay, let's move on. The third Hermetic principle, the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The Kybalion. This principle is letting us know, one, that everything is alive, everything is energy, and that energy that is vibrating is producing a frequency, and frequency carries information with it. So everything all around us is producing information, and us ourselves, we are producing information and taking in information. This helps us in so many different ways. Let's talk about our sixth sense. The sixth sense is like a very introductory term because it's like it's like opening up a skill tree and seeing that there's many different abilities underneath this term of the sixth sense, and that they're all super freaking awesome, and that we can start to tap into them, and that it's a real thing. This also lets us know that energy does not lie. When we have individuals who are saying one thing and thinking, doing, feeling, trying, intention of something else that is not good, we are able to start to tap in, to start to feel, sense, and understand the frequency that is being produced at different levels. We're able to start having the discernment and not just listening mindlessly to hearing people say good things, but we're seeing it and feeling it on a much deeper level every step of the manifestation process. We're able to start looking at life in a whole different way. We're starting to tap in to the layers that are all around us. We're starting to experience things completely differently. We're also able to start realizing what is healing us and what is creating disharmony. We're starting to pick up on what is actually divinely energy and what is breaking down the cells with a destructive frequency. So, this particular principle really helps us to unlock many different doors within ourselves, within our own technology. Moving on. The fourth Hermetic principle, the principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The Kybalion. This principle really opens us up to the fact that this plane that we are on is dual. It is a plane of duality. We already know that we're all one from the first Hermetic principle. But we wouldn't have this experience without both the light and the dark. For there cannot be light without darkness. You cannot have good times without the bad times. Even nowadays, we have the saying, hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. The cycle. Because we have to have both. This is why the term, the middle way, is so important. We have to have a balance. We have to go through the darkness to understand what is the light. We have to know what we don't want in order to know what we do want. If we just live in the things that we think we want, we won't appreciate. We won't have gratitude. We won't even realize the importance that it holds. Having these contrasting elements allows us to give value to what we really care about. The middle way, the balance between the two, to create harmony. Just as we have birth and death, we have that middle point of experiencing life and to enjoy that life and to know what it means to enjoy this life. So, this principle just helps us to really understand and to be grateful for the struggles, for the hard times, because it makes the success, the happiness, that much sweeter. Moving on, the fifth Hermetic principle, the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. The Kybalion. When we start talking about this principle, this helps us understand our concept of time a lot better. For there's a season for everything. For spring, for summer, for fall. for winter. And it is these cycles of the seasons that give us our concept of time. The cycles of the sun rising and falling, of day in and day out. So what that means for us is that we need to watch our own cycles. What are the things that we do on a daily basis? Our habits, do they help us grow? Do they help us reach and achieve our dreams? I really feel that this principle helps us understand that on the road to manifestation, it takes consistency of day in and day out type of steps towards our dreams, because that's what builds up. There is a season for everything. When you're low and you feel beaten, you continue to work and work towards your dreams. For your time is coming. And it's whether or not are you going to be ready for it. When your success, when the opportunity of success shows up in your life, we have to be ready to reach it with all we have. From the steady, dedicated practices of whatever it is we're trying to achieve, but doing it day in, day out, in the cold, in the rain, in the heat, in the snow. The principle of a rhythm really just helps us understand a lot of our concepts, music, life, in just a different manner. But I hope that as we are all on that road to manifestation, this principle helps us to really look at our habits, because that is what is going to make us or break us. And so, let's move on. The sixth principle, the principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. The Kybalion. So this principle really helps us to understand, 1, karma, and 2, why the golden rule is so important. The golden rule being, treat others how you want to be treated. We have to understand that what we put out into this world matters. What we put out into this world will come back to us. Right now we're in a time period where we see that degeneracy, violence, selfishness, greed, a lot of these lower vibrational frequencies are being promoted on large and mass scales. And that's all very intentional. They need us to surrender our power. They need individuals to bring that of suffering, that of destruction to them through their own choices, through their own vibration. This principle shows that every action has a reaction, that nothing is forgotten, that what we put out into the world really does matter. And so, when we put out love, compassion, gratitude, wisdom, those are the things that we're bringing towards us. Things that can be helpful for everybody. Things that open up our energy and allow us to see this world in all its beautiful glory. Because this world is amazing. And a lot of times we just forget that. A lot of times it's hidden through layers of illusions. But as we keep going forward, doing our best to bring that love in every action, in every thought, in every interaction, it spreads like a beautiful, I don't want to say fire. It spreads beautifully to the next person, and then the next person. And then we have an explosion of love. There we go. That feels better. Also, synchronicities are a real thing. The universe is alive. The universe is aligning us through our intuition, through little nudges here and there, in all different types of manners. There is no such things as accidents. No matter the role we play, whether it be big or small, we're all in each other's lives for a reason. And it's starting just to recognize that we're in each other's lives and they're in your life, all for a reason. Whether it be a lesson to be learned, whether somebody just needed you to help pick them up that day with your good old positive vibes. This law shows us the universe is working with us every step of the way, and that we play a role in this, in what we are creating. So let's put out them loving vibes and create a world that's beautiful for everybody. Moving on. The seventh Hermetic principle, the principle of gender. Gender isn't everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. The Kybalion. So this principle, I feel like, is really important nowadays, because we all have masculine and feminine energy inside of us. There is no one way to be a man or to be a woman. We're each individually unique in our own ways. That being said, you have to have a male, or I should say, male, female creates a child. This type of process of birth is how things are created. Life is created on all spectrums. Cloning is a completely different process and is not the same as creating new life. I feel like what we really need to understand nowadays, one, that it's okay to be who you are. Two, your body is beautiful. Your body is precious and your body is a gift. Right now we have certain ideologies that I feel like make certain individuals feel like they need to take certain things or do certain things to their body in order to feel comfortable in their own skin. Believe it if you want to, but that is manipulation. You are already beautiful as you are. You are already enough as you are. The body that you have been placed in was not by accident. And a lot of times we choose what we're coming back as. We just don't know it yet. learning acceptance of who we are and to really love ourselves. That's going to be a whole nother topic that I'm going to talk about here not too long. But self-love, real self-love, where we appreciate, where we take the steps that make us feel and know that it doesn't matter what other people think, that God is with all of us, and God did not make a mistake, and that you are enough just as you are. And I hope to stress that to the utmost, because there's only two genders, and it's because of these two genders that we're able to create new life. We're able to give birth in so many different beautiful ways. Our children are so precious. Let us not forget that. And so, those are the 7 Hermetic principles from the Kybalion. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around until the end of our training session. If you have time, go ahead, go over to the Stand store, type in White Wolf 719. There you can download our free leveling guide. This leveling guide is going to help you get from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. Once you hit level 3, homie, I'm telling you, you walk in your purpose. You have your own connection with God. You've learned to see through so many illusions and lies that you trust yourself and you know where you're going. So go download that. It's free. Also, go check out the Warriors of Light podcast. I've put in a couple of predictions and it really explains a lot of my journey. I have a lot of different knowledge out there that I would hope people will look at because I feel like it's very beneficial. So, also go listen and check those out. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. And thank you once again for sticking around to the end. And no matter who you are, just remember that we are all beautiful. And none of us has this human experience thing figured out all the way. We're all still learning. And that's the cool thing about life. So enjoy it. And love yourself. Be proud of yourself. And recognize that God is always with you. Every single day. In the darkness, in the light. God is by your side. And until the next training video, next training episode, everybody have a blessed and beautiful day.